Oh, that's okay. This is the Oz report for September 30th, 2023. And let's start with the usual. We're going to start with Plex and extractors. And so let's go up here. Plex prices, they are messed up in the in-game window as usual. When somebody fat fingers an item for a day, you basically can't use this graph. This is really something that CCP needs to fix ASAP. But Plex prices, we just checked them in our spreadsheets. They are up again a little bit, 5 million. This is kind of like the high point that it always gets stuck in. I said this last week or 2 weeks ago on the last Oz report, I think already. I don't think, without a massive sale, I don't think that it's going to be pushing far beyond this. This has been a pretty hard ceiling. So yes, we're going to see those spikes if we see a massive sale, but right now this is probably the high point, and I have liquidated most of the Plex that I was sitting on. More interesting are the skill extractors still. They seem to be solidifying now at 450, 460. So everyone that cashed in, that bought a lot of skill extractors in that massive sale earlier this year, the 2-for-1, you guys know what I'm talking about, has cashed in pretty well. It's been a very, very profitable year for them. I don't think right now they will be rising steadily more and more. I don't think they're going to be approaching 500 million anytime soon, just because there has to be this massive amount of them out there. The available quantity has reduced quite significantly, but I think people are still going to be putting more and more out there. Full transparency, I still have, I sold some of them, but I still have over 1 trillion worth of these. So the pockets are deep on skill extractors. And the only thing that is really keeping this price up and pushing this higher is the profitability of skill farming right now, and the need for skill extractors in that area of the game. So, it's good. There's demand, there's supply, markets are moving. Certainly skill extractors have been the item of the year so far. Skill injectors, they are at 870 million, so they're continuing the overall downward trend we've seen all year, and that is for the same reason. Still, as mentioned before, if there's a lot of skill farming being done, if skill farming is profitable, the amount of skill injectors is going to increase. So without a significant increase in demand, we're not going to see a recovery there. So that is the skill farming and injector extractor market. If we're moving over to other items now that are interesting in the market, first of all, if we're seeing what's trending up, one thing we already discussed on the stream is the two frigates, the Prospect and the Hawk. So for the Hawk, there's a lot. The available quantity of Hogs has decreased quite significantly, and the price has jumped by 60%. For a little frigate, that is a lot. Right now, we are also seeing on the other side that we do have some chaotic dark filaments, for example, in short supply right now. So the market for chaotic, which is I think tier 5 dark filaments in abyssal space, the market has also been bought out. So you do need Hogs to run dark filaments. Maybe there's a connection there. The market just isn't deep enough for if somebody goes in and triple boxes these and tries to, decides to buy 10, 20, 30 of these, it can dry up quite quickly. But this is definitely a very, very temporary thing. So don't think that you can, in the long run, profit from this for a long period of time. If you have Hogs right now, throw them on the market, profit now. It might already be over tomorrow, because it's not like the production price for a Hawk doctrine for the Hawk has changed. I was shortly distracted because somebody said Is it because an alliance moved back to Hog doctrine? I don't know. I'm not informed on all the alliance doctrines, but certainly I do know that it is used a lot in abyssal space, especially to triple box them. One other interesting thing is platinum. If you've been listening to the Oz report in the last few weeks and months, you will know that on 2 or 3 occasions I said platinum is a good investment. Now, I don't know. I already said this earlier as well. I don't know if this is a reaction to all of the calls for investments that I made there, but it has risen in price 30%, and the price is now at let's look in game. The price is now over 10K, I think. Let's see here, platinum, that bottomed out at like 8.85 or something, and the lowest buy sell price in JITA right now is 10.5. So it has risen quite significantly. If you compare this to the 52-week average, it's still not insanely high, right? This is fairly average still. So it might still go higher, but this was a recommendation purely based on technical data analysis, right? It was the moon material at the time that was trading the farthest below 52-week average. This has been replaced, by the way, with cadmium. So the new lowest moon material is cadmium, and the reason that I mentioned platinum last time and I mentioned cadmium this time is because if you're looking for something to invest in the long run, but you don't have a lot of time to analyze the markets, and you just want to put your money somewhere to guard it against inflation or other things, then certainly if you're looking at basic raw materials, so minerals, salvage, moon materials, and you're looking at the ones that are trading the farthest below 52-week average, then that is something that at least can't be the dumbest decision in the world. And that's why the platinum trade that we were talking about has already paid off. I didn't, this short-term spike is either a result of the Oz report, or it's just somebody replenishing their stocks, or or a little bit of both. But certainly interesting that this is going on now. There is other items that are trending up sharply. You can see the core X-type 100 MN afterburners up 50%, a dead space module. Incidentally, if you look at the GIST X-type 100 MN afterburner, the other variants of this, you see it has dropped 50% in price. So this might just be people changing a specific fit, either from I don't know, a specific guide or an alliance that is changing it. So this is all this is the ups and downs. By the way, harvester mining drones, those are very interesting because they do have a pretty consistent volume. And if you look at trending down, let me see here. If we look at our trending down items, we can look at the harvester mining drones in the game client, and you can see that typically the price for them is around 300 and 350 million, and they've dipped on sell below 300, which is a fairly rare occasion. So right now, this is a very low price for harvester mining drones. So even if you need them, or if you're investing, that is something to consider right now as well. Now, sorry, I'm still recovering from COVID from FanFest. Getting there, but voice gives out every once in a while. So in short supply, so these are items that are trading, below a half day in daily trade volume on its availability. We can see not only the aforementioned chaotic dark filaments, right, that are only at 0.3 daily trade days or trade days available. We're also, the Republic Feed gyro stabilizer is basically sold out in the market. It's completely gone and has also spiked in price. So if you do have the LP lying around to trade in for those, that's a very profitable trade right now. Also, trigger units are gone. And salvage is something that is very interesting right now because we have trigger units almost sold out. We have ward consoles spiking in price. And we have some others sprinkled out throughout the dashboard right here. And that just means that there seems to be some producers of rigs, be it station rigs or just T2 rigs in general, are replenishing their supplies and they're restarting production. It might be there's not a lot of producers in that space, the large scale ones. So when one or two of them just replenish and go to JITA to buy large chunks of the markets to restart production, that can really mess with the markets and spike the price. So salvage, there's definitely things going on. It's always good to see these things going on because that means items are moving, industry is happening, things are moving in the economy of EVE Online. One thing that I also want to mention on the largest drop in supply. So which are the markets that are being bought out? The jackdaws, certainly. So 70% of all jackdaws were bought up, are basically gone. We can actually have a look here. And it's not, it's not necessarily... So this is a fairly sudden. So the green line right here is the sell order volume. You can see that there's a pretty sharp drop here this week. So this is just another example for a ship that is suddenly in very short supply. It spikes. In the long run, it's not going to stay up because the production price didn't change. So it's going to be dropping back down. So if you can quickly capitalize on this, and now is the time, but it's probably already too late. And let's see, is there something else? We talked about cadmium. Let me reiterate. Yes, you're seeing something like the Charon or the Bowheads, the freighters trading way under 52-week average, but don't be fooled by this. This was a blueprint change, so there's they are just catching up to where they should be. And I keep mentioning that on the Oz report. I just don't want you guys to get caught up by that. Yeah. And I think we'll leave it at that for the Oz report today. Oh, one last thing. Modules are all over the place, right? Modules, this week we're seeing a lot of modules going, spiking in price, a lot of them going down. This is typically, a testament of fits changing, people going out, people fighting, people doing things, right? And FanFest certainly has something to do with it. Zarzak is going to have something to do with it. And today we learned that the Crimson Harvest event, the Halloween event, is coming back, which is significant because all of the other events didn't happen this year. So this is the seasonal event that is coming back. And typically what that means is that and I think they confirmed this in the announcement article, the PvP drop rate is going to increase to 90%, from 50% to 90%. So you will see a lot more things dropping. If more things are dropping, you would assume that the supply of modules on the market is going to go up, right? So the prices are going to be dropping. So this is a macro trend that you should be considering when you're looking at these things. A lot of people are going to, for the month of October, they're going to be going out there, fighting, getting that loot, and then putting it on the market. And so expect loot, which means modules also specifically, and specifically so. Expect them to be dropping in price. All right, so make sure you consider that. All right, that's the Oz report for September 30th, and we'll return to the regular stream, and I'll see you guys next week.